Hello there, it's Alana Tucky, your Math 131 instructor. I'm going to finish out the syllabus videos. So we need to talk just a little bit about intermediate grading. To comply with federal law and state law, we need to have 3 intermediate grades in the semester, the H, the Q, the V. So if you basically quit participating and stop showing up to class, it's just like not showing up to work. You will be fired and therefore you will be dropped. When you receive an H, that means that I see you struggling in some way or I feel you need help in some form with the class, and you'll be contacted by the Center for Student Success, which offers free tutoring services for students. And then V means I'm verifying that you're doing fine. So just be aware of those grades when you need to go check them on e-services. That's what the 3 grades mean. Now, as for important dates, it's always good to know when the holidays are and the last day to withdraw and all of that stuff is. So there's the academic calendar link. You can also get it just by searching for academic calendar on the website for JC. Now, extra credit policy, our math department, believes strongly that your grades should be based on how you perform in class, not on extras. And that means that you're not going to have extra credit. So you're going to have to perform at a certain level in this course in order to receive the grade that you would like. Now, the absence policy was discussed earlier, but just a reminder, you're expected to attend all classes. You're expected to arrive on time and stay until the end. And just as a little warning to you, you do stay into the end generally in my courses. You don't leave 30 minutes early. It just is not done. If you have to be absent for some reason, if you must be absent because people get sick, things happen, you are responsible for obtaining the missed lecture notes and continuing work on the homework. Now remember, I've made them really easy to find. They're available for you in my math lab right here under class worksheets and class notes, but nevertheless, just looking at them online doesn't get them done. They need to be filled out, they need to be done by you, they need to be turned in. All right. Remember that my office hours are not replacement for class time. There's nothing a professor loves more than when a student's missed 2 hours of class and then shows up at the office hours and says, "What did I miss?" And I would say, "Our class. That's what you missed." So office hours are a great tool for us connecting from instructor to student. They let me help you with specific problems and specific tasks, but they are not a replacement for our class time. I do not re-lecture to you in the office hours. That's not what they're for. Remember that you also need to go click on your worksheets and download them and print them off, complete them, and submit them at the start of the next class. Not the next class you attend, the next class, period. This may require for you to email them or email a scan of them, or you may be required to just submit them under my door or put them in my mailbox or something like that. But they have to be turned in by the next class, no matter what. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to remove all of that and just say, see the late assignments section above for submitting late assignments right in here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to relabel that late assignments just so you guys are very clear on how that works. So they will not be accepted any later than the next class period, no matter what. And that means if you're absent, you have a lot of work to do because you don't have me to teach you the notes. You're going to have to read the notes online, try to figure out what's going on, and still do the worksheets and still submit them on time like the rest of the students. So being absent doesn't mean you get to actually avoid anything other than hearing my voice for 2 hours, which, might have its benefits, but might not actually be beneficial to you as a student in a college level math course. Now, as for the incompletes policy, it's a little bit strict at the college by college policy actually. You have to request it from your instructor and you have to show that you have a passing grade and you have to completed a significant portion of the course. I believe 80% or so, but you'll have to check the JC policy. One of the big mistakes students make is they feel that they're failing the course, so they want to request an incomplete. And that's not what incompletes are for. Incompletes are for people that are being very successful in the course, but some major life occurrence got in the way of them continuing on at the very end of the course. So, for example, I one time had a student who was getting a 3.5 in the class, and her father-in-law was diagnosed with brain cancer in Texas, and she had to fly down there and be there for many weeks during his surgeries and so on. So she got an incomplete, and she was later able to finish the course. Right? That counts as an incomplete. A student on a regular basis will have not shown up for a month of the course, be failing, and then come to me and say, hey, I'd like an incomplete. And the answer to that, quite frankly, is no. That's not what an incomplete is for. So make sure that you are attending, make sure that you are participating, make sure that you're doing all of your work. This class is very doable, but you have to stick with it. All right, and then academic honesty policy. Of course, as is the case in most classes, I believe you're encouraged to talk to each other. We want you to work together. Group work is a great way to learn the materials. The best students are ones that are checking answers before class, after class, working together in small groups. But that doesn't mean that you can grab somebody's paper and just copy. Um, if I suspect you of academic dishonesty, I will follow the academic honesty policy and take appropriate action, including assigning a failing grade for the paper, the project, the exams, the course itself, depending on the severity of the issue as far as I'm concerned. So please be very careful of your academic honesty because I'm supposed to be assigning you a grade, not your friend, not your the person that you copied from, etc. So make sure that you are very cautious about what you do and what you write. Now, of course, we know what a person thinks not by what they tell us they think, but by their actions. Okay, and so we want to be very adult in our classroom behavior. So we want to be responsible for our own work, for our learning, for our behavior. We need to be responsible in a lot of different facets as a student and as a classmate. The online homework, the take-home quizzes require great levels of responsibility on your part. You have to do it. You have to stay on top of your schedule, and you have to make sure that your life and everything that's in it doesn't make it so that it's impossible for you to get your coursework done in a timely fashion. So you need to make a schedule, make a plan, and stick with it because this class will take hours out of every single week for 12 weeks. So be prepared for that. And of course, we need to be respectful of me, of each other, of yourself, right? You paid for this course, or you will be paying for this course in the future. You want to get the most out of it you possibly can. And that means not using your cell phones. Many, many, many studies have shown that students literally just do not learn when they are trying to go back and forth between their texting. Students are atrocious at it. Uh, your brain essentially switches gears and cannot switch back. So don't do it. We are a tobacco-free campus, which means there will be no tobacco in my room, and chewing tobacco is no exception. Come on time. You will stay the full time. Be prepared to ask questions. Be prepared to work together. Um, I really try to encourage lots of group work as much as I can in a class that's this fast-paced. So that means you don't sit off in a silo by yourself. We're going to be a very large class. I have people begging to get into this section, so we're a little bit overloaded. And that means you have to pull your weight and work together as group mates. Now, that said, where can we get help? Well, there's a lot of places. So where should I begin? So there are office hours. Of course, and I'm there to help you. So I'm there to help all my students. So come to my office hours. It's best to try to email me if you can, or text me even. Just say, hey, can I, I'll be at your office hours tomorrow, and I'll say that's fine, or great. I have a lot of meetings, and so sometimes if I know a student's coming in, I'll be able to get out of one of my meetings so that I can stay with you guys. So just let me know. But if not, I will be at my office hours most of the time. I just didn't want you to, think I was ditching you if I wasn't there. The Center for Student Success is available in the Potter Center for this semester because of the Walker Hall construction. So you can get tutoring there for free. It's for students that are enrolled in Math 131. Sorry. I was in the wrong syllabus, but it doesn't matter because those parts are still the same. So let me go. There we go. Center for Student Success. It's in Potter Center. YouTube videos, like you saw, I have literally over 1,300 videos. Now, grant you, a lot of those are for 133, but still, there's some 131 stuff in there, and there's some playlists, there's some old lectures. It's better than nothing. And of course, my math lab. My math lab actually has tons of videos and lectures, PowerPoint slides, just tons of stuff in there. There's also the study plan. I showed you that earlier. It actually has just tons and tons and tons of extra assignments, extra problems. You don't have to do all of them. But, if you know you're struggling with a particular section, let's say you're really struggling in chapter 10, then you can grab problems just from section 10.2 and just practice those. And the multimedia libraries where, there are lecture videos. Oh, for this one, you just click view all chapters and then, hit the little plus sign. And you can say, I'm really struggling with rational exponents or whatever. And it'll give you a whole bunch of problems that I don't give you this many homework problems. I just give you, 5, 7, 10, somewhere in there. So you could do all sorts of extra ones in here. They don't help your homework score, but they help you study, right? And then, of course, the multimedia library I showed you earlier is where all the videos and PowerPoints and just everything in the kitchen sink is in here. So animations, just all sorts of stuff. There. Exam reviews. So I will give you exam reviews. Actually, I believe they're in your course pack. There you go. Make sure you complete them. I didn't write them all for my health. I typed up every single problem in there. So use them, do them, right? They're helpful. And of course, each other. Getting a regular study group together is really one of the best ways to pass this course and be successful. So get the names and numbers of people around you. Get the names of people that are far away from you, right? Don't be afraid. We're all in this together. Everybody wants to succeed in this course. Nobody wants to take an algebra course and not pass, right? So if you're all in it together, you guys can work together to become more successful in the course. The last page has just a tentative schedule for us of what I think is going to happen. I've had to do some rearranging because, of course, we are a shortened course. We're shortened by a couple weeks. And this is a new rearrangement of the material, so I'm not sure how fast or slow this is going to go. So we'll see how it goes, and we might need, matter of fact, I know we will need to make adjustments as the semester goes on. Now notice, remember, there's no tests in class until the final exam. The final exam is in class on, I believe, the 17th of December. But the rest of the course, you don't take your exams in class. You take them in that testing lab in the Atkinson Hall building on Central Campus, which is where the library is. That's the same building. All right. And oh, I also color coded it here. There's the exam 1. This stuff is on exam 2. This stuff is on exam 3. And then we have a little bit of square root review and take a quiz on that. And then we have our final. All right. I hope this was enjoyable for you, at least as enjoyable as syllabus reading ever is. And if you have questions, bring them to class. We'll talk about them in class. And I hope you have a great semester. I'm looking forward to teaching it. I love teaching Math 131, and I hope you'll enjoy taking it. And I'll see you in class.